Alright, here's the deal. This game is brand spanking new, and the clever part of the game that I'm talking about deals with the ending. So if you plan to play this game, which I highly recommend you do, and don't want to be spoiled, let me just say that this game is gosh dang beautiful, an absolute joy to play through, and a contender for my personal game of the year. Seriously, go buy this. Some of the best games come from the simplest of concepts, and few games could come from a simpler idea than Brothers. The average controller has 2 control sticks, right? So why can't we control 2 characters? A co-op game for a single player, Brothers is filled to the brim with beautiful art, ingenious puzzle design, and an introduction of its mechanics that would make the Mega Man X sequelitis blush. But to me, the most important thing that Brothers manages to accomplish is not in its beginning, it is in its end, and the long road that leads up to that heartbreaking point. So, Brothers starts out innocently enough. Puzzles involve avoiding mischievous dogs and putting sheep in hamster wheels. By the way, this is the single best puzzle solution of all time. If I didn't know better, I'd think that this is an E-rated game. The relationship between the brothers is adorable, each one giving a different reaction to little things in the game. Even when things start to get edgier, with cave trolls and wolves in the dark, there's still nothing too obvious that would be much worse than a Disney movie. But then suddenly... in the blink of an eye, you realize just how dark this world is. All those hints that had escaped your gaze until now, with abandoned giants' castles, restless nightmares, and hanging bodies, they're suddenly given a much deeper purpose. But yet, the shadowy past of this land is not the focus of the story. The bond between the 2 brothers is, and their quest to save their father. In fact, the sudden violence of the world only makes the genuine love between the siblings all the more clearer. The younger brother's inability to swim, previously a heart-tugging memento of the game's backstory, is suddenly a genuine terror to the player as the world collapses around you. And then comes the moment that drives the entire game home, that everything has led to just as you reach your sole destination. Completely unexpected, it comes at the end of a boss fight that is almost cruel in its patience. You see, you need to knock this spider over onto its back with the younger brother, and then have the older brother rip its legs out, one by one. As the fight progresses, and the spider loses more limbs, it actually becomes less of a threat, slower and weaker, until finally, you just want to finish her off and put her out of her misery. And then, it happens. The eldest brother is killed. Literally meters from your goal, after having played the entire game with 2 characters, suddenly you are down to 1. Half of your controller is suddenly useless. And in a heartbreaking reversal of the game's opening, where you learn to control 2 brothers while carrying their father, now you must adapt to just 1 brother, carrying the other to his grave. This is the type of game that people talk about when they say games are art. Not the games that merely have great stories or good graphics, but the experiences that could only be had in a video game. A story about a kid losing his older brother? That's sad. A story where you lived as both kids for several hours, where you got to watch them grow over the course of a single adventure, and where, in the end, you realize that the other half of the controller still does do something. The older brother is still there, and he is helping his family get through the trials that before they had to face together, to make the younger brother realize that no, he is not alone. The moment when I realized that the younger brother could now swim across the beach on his own, with the older brother's side of the controller vibrating in my hand, that was without a doubt a gaming memory that I will always cherish. And as the credits started to roll, and the drums continued to play, all I could think to myself was that above any game I've played all year, that was really freaking clever.